If you want to continue to follow our adventure, click subscribe. So you don't miss anything, click the bell notification. So I've made several videos telling you that, I came to Dad's house to work on my camper. And so in those videos, I was explaining to you how I think you should try to find places throughout the country that you can stop, do repairs to your camper. Because, being out in the national forest, first, it's illegal to do any maintenance on your camper in the national forest. And second, the difficulties of trying to get materials and tools. I always get comments that say, okay, well, here's the simple answer. And I worry a lot that these folks don't always understand the full scope of here's the simple solution. I used to think the same way. Well, it can't be that hard. You can just go do this and then that'll take care of your problem. One of the comments I got was, oh, it's no big deal. Just go to town. You can rent power tools and you can do your maintenance. Well, first, still, it's illegal to do maintenance in the national forest. So even if I rented power tools, I still have the second problem. But another issue is, and this can vary, I get it. If you have a travel trailer, you wouldn't have this problem. On the other hand, I think there's a whole other list of problems that you have with a travel trailer, which this is not part of the video. So, I had a boss tell me one time, 6 one way, half a dozen the other. 6 one way means, yeah, having a trailer is a good idea, but half a dozen the other means there's half a dozen reasons why it's not a good idea. So, having a van or a truck camper where your house is attached to your vehicle, one of the issues that this happens is if there's a problem with your house/vehicle, it makes it more difficult to be able to go get in your vehicle and travel because you have a problem with your house. I just wanted to paint the camper, so we started peeling off some of the old paint, and when we did, it lifted up some Luan. Well, then I had kind of a hole, sort of, in one spot of the camper. Well, it wasn't really comfortable driving down the road with this hole in the side of the camper because, well, a lot of reasons. One, if wind would have caught that a certain way, I was a little worried that it just blew off the whole panel. Another issue I was worried about is if it started raining, see answer number one, which is the water would have absorbed into it and just ripped it off the camper. So I would have had, pieces of camper flying down the road and all my stuff inside the camper going down the road. I think the primary reason most folks want to come out here is they want the isolation. So you come out here to be isolated, away from civilization, but when a problem happens, I think we forget that the whole reason we came out here was to be isolated from civilization. My point to this is the distances you have to drive to do anything when you're in a national forest. I understand that a lot of people who live in urban areas, city areas, can have, a Home Depot or Walmart, 3 miles down the road, half a mile down the road. As a matter of fact, one of the reasons I am addressing this is there's a YouTube channel that hosted me. He does a review of RV channels, and he hosted me, and he said, I thought there was a Home Depot every 5 blocks. Of course, he lives did live in the Washington, D.C. area, so yeah, there's a Home Depot every 5 blocks. But here, when you're in the bottom of the Apalachicola National Forest, and you want to get to a Home Depot, it's 50 miles. That's a 100-mile round trip, and it's back roads. But if you have to make 4 trips to town, you're going to end up spending, $55 or so on that gas, just on gas. Now you got oil changes. Now this is the key to this information. It's not just the gas money we're talking about. It seems to me that a lot of folks just focus on the gas. When you're living in your car, to me, it becomes very critical that you preserve the life of your vehicle for as long as you can. I expect my vehicle to last 200,000 miles. It's got 60,000 miles on it now. I would like for it to last another 5-6 years before I have to buy another one. If I have to go and buy a vehicle, your price is going to go way up. So if I'm driving to town every day to do laundry or to go grocery shopping, or it's just simple, go to town, first of all, I'll use all my gas budget, obviously, but I'm going to use up my truck. Oil changes. This is one that folks really struggle with. Synthetic oil changes, the oil change, the fast lubes places, costs $80. And I know some people think, oh my goodness, $80, that's not true. People have actually called me a liar. It's $80. 2015 Chevy Colorado. If you're running back and forth to town, you're going to really use up your oil life very quickly. So the other reason I think a lot of people come out here is to reduce their costs. This is probably one of the biggest things people talk about is they want to come out here to reduce cost. Well, you got to change your behavior when it comes to your driving habits in order to reduce cost. If you're living in a city, think about this, and it's 5 blocks to Walmart, and you go to Walmart every day. Well, you're not using any gas money. 5 blocks, heck, you could walk that. You give up your rent, right? And you're out here, you're living in the national forest for 2 reasons. 1, to save money. 2, to get away from people. Now you're driving every day to Walmart. It's a 100-mile round trip. You're going to use whatever money you saved by getting rid of your rent and putting it into your gas tank and your oil changes and car replacement. So, assuming that it is not illegal to work on your camper, which it is illegal, in the national forest, the cost would be prohibitive to do any kind of simple repairs to your camper. Think about this. I only spent about 150 bucks to repair my camper with the materials that I needed. But if I'd had to drive to town to go get the materials, rent the tools, my cost would have immediately went up to about $300–400, probably more in the $400 range, because I would have needed to rent saws and drills and hammers, and my generator doesn't handle a handsaw very well. That means I would have to go rent a bigger generator also. Thanks for watching. Click like if you like the video, and happy travels.